Well, I'm honored, humbled, and really overwhelmed to be included in the Ohio Valley Conference Hall of Fame. Um, Kurt McGuffin will tell you I was pretty emotional when I got the call from him. I happened to be with Debbie at the time and was pleased about that because she's been by my side 49 years this December and has supported me in every role I've served. So I was glad she was able to share in that. I want to thank Kurt McGuffin and Chancellor Keith Carver for nominating me. That means a lot in and of itself. I want to congratulate the other two people going into the Hall of Fame this year, my good friend Teresa Phillips and Connie Kiesling over at Murray State, who I do not know, but a lot of fine people over there. I could not accept this without acknowledging the support that we had from so many people at so many levels, from students to trustees and staff people all in between, both in our department and outside our department, season ticket holders, donors. The list is too long to mention in just a few minutes that I have here, but there's no way an athletic director could receive something like this without a lot of people pulling for them and pulling with them in the activities that we had. One group that I want to acknowledge that sometimes gets overlooked is our student body. We worked hard to interact with them in a lot of ways, but at a time when we needed an influx of money to help us get over the hump and begin to compete better in the conference, they supported what we challenged them to do. They agreed with our philosophy on where we needed to go and supported our message and voted to pass a referendum by a 66% majority for a student activity fee increase. I don't know anywhere else that's happened, and it gave us funds to increase staffing in some areas where we only had one coach. It allowed us to create better facilities for our student athletes. And so if you ever attended UT Martin, you deserve credit for the support, even if you never attended a game. I've got to acknowledge our student athletes. Debbie and I were so blessed and are so blessed to have developed relationships with many of them primarily through the activities of the Student Athlete Advisory Council. We had them in our home once or twice a year and got to hear their stories, learn about their families, and continue to follow them in their careers and with their families on social media, and that's such a blessing in and of itself. While we were there, they began to set high marks on the academic side with the percentage of student athletes in the commissioner's honor roll and grade point average and those kinds of things. And Kurt McGuffin and Danelle Fabianich and their staffs continue to make that a priority, and I'm pleased to see the news releases where they're setting new records in that area. I am in awe of the people that are already in the Hall of Fame that I will be joining. I've been associated with the Ohio Valley Conference for some 45 years, beginning as a student athlete at Tennessee Tech, and I know a lot of those people, and I'm just in awe at the caliber of people that they were. As a baseball player, I competed against Steve Hamilton's teams, and what a gentleman and competitor he was. David Mays was my baseball coach. Bull Brown was my intermediate swimming instructor. Bob Bell was my principles of management professor. I interacted with David Larimore on some athletic things when I was a student athlete, and then got to serve alongside him some 20 years later on the Athletic Directors Council. And what a brilliant guy he is. And so I could go on, but those are just a few, and I am in awe of the caliber of that group. I've got to give one final shout out to Chancellor Margaret Perry, who led UT Martin into the Ohio Valley Conference, and is so deserving of being in the Hall of Fame herself. But more importantly to me, she took a chance on a 33-year-old guy back in 1987 and promoted me to the Vice Chancellor of Business and Finance, where she trusted me with the responsibility of all the budget and financial and ultimately physical planning, capital projects activities of the campus. And little did I know that was preparing me for the most challenging the hardest yet the most rewarding job I would ever have during the 34 years that I served UT Martin. So Chancellor Perry, if you see this, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will be eternally grateful. I am so proud to be associated with the Ohio Valley Conference in UT Martin. Proud of my heritage at Tennessee Tech. There's some 17 Tennessee Tech folks in the Athletic Hall of Fame, and so proud to be associated with all of those groups. And I wish the Ohio Valley Conference the very best in the days ahead, and I look forward to sharing this honor with some of the folks that I work most closely with in the future, and look forward to getting together with them. So thank you again, and best wishes to the OVC.